Today we're here with Ram from the Sivananda Yoga Centre. He's spent a lot of time in yoga ashrams and runs the Sivananda Yoga Centre, and he's really quite dedicated to the yogic lifestyle. A lot of things probably people don't realise is that certain foods do affect state of minds, like sugars sort of give you these real highs and then the real lows, so they're sort of something to be avoided. And then there's other foods like onions and garlics and vinegars. If you could sort of elaborate a bit on that, Ram, that'd be good.
Yeah, sure. So most of us, we look at food in the sense of just how the direct nutritional value is in our body. And a lot of things that have a good nutritional value, like onions and garlic, they have a lot of benefit for us, particularly garlic. People always have the argument that garlic is so good if you have a cold or something like that, and that's true. No one's trying to argue that point, but certain foods have also an effect on the mind. And so if you're a serious practitioner of meditation, then a lot of things you need to be aware of, and particularly onions and garlic are what we call highly rajasic, which means they're quite stimulating for the mind, particularly in the sort of passionate sort of nature of the sense. So if you're having something that's heavily full of garlic and onion and you're trying to sit for meditation the next day, often the mind is going to be a lot more active, and it's harder to slow the thought waves down and bring a calmer state of mind. So we have that saying always, we are what we eat in yoga. We always say what we eat so we think, because the food we eat actually forms the subtle portions of our mind, and it works on the level of how our mind operates. Everything we do affects our mind basically, but particularly what we eat affects. And so it's a really good idea to be aware of these small things if you are sort of looking to practice meditation, and even just the yoga asanas. You'll notice if you cut things like that out, your natural state becomes calmer and it's easier to focus your mind. And everyone's constitution is slightly different too, so it's always a good idea to experiment and see how do things affect me, how do things affect my mind, and you gradually become more aware on subtle levels of these things and how they affect you.
So is there any times where you would use sort of things like onion and garlic, or maybe something like if you're doing long periods of meditation, a bit of tea, for example, that might sort of perk you up a bit?
Personally myself, no. A little caffeine, they say, here and there if you're trying to stay awake for a long prolonged period of meditation. But personally I try to avoid all of it and keep the system as clean as possible. And it's interesting, when you stay off the onions and garlic for a few years or even a few months, you notice when you eat them straight away, your mind becomes extremely turbulent. And also the body, it takes on a bit of a strange smell too. Then it comes through in the pores and the skin. It's a lot more noticeable because it doesn't have that same level of purity as just fresh sort of clean green vegetables, for example.
Oh, that's good. Well, personally I don't like onions and garlic, so I've been pretty lucky to get away with it inadvertently. Thanks for joining us and giving us those few tips, Ram.
You're welcome.
Hi there, thanks for watching. I hope you've been enjoying the videos in our members preview area.
Our members area has the full content. There you'll find great videos about yoga practice and healthy eating.
Just fill in the form at yoga.org to activate your subscription.
We look forward to seeing you there.
See you there soon. Namaste.
Namaste.